Morning, everybody. Michelle here. Uh, I have become addicted to another quick little craft, and so I thought I would just come and share with you what I've been working on lately. Also, I just want to say thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and watching them and making comments and perhaps even making the items that that I'm sharing with you, whether it's you do it the way that I do it or that you do it in your own style, you know, but just that you give it a try. I think that's really awesome. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you because it does actually mean a lot to me, even though I don't always say it in my videos. Anyhow, I need to show you this. Okay, and also, by no means is this my idea. But on that note, I have no idea whose idea it was because, I see it here and there. And anyhow, so what I did, or what I've been doing, is using my scraps because, as like everybody, I have a ton and I hate throwing anything out. So I've decided to try to create some of these tags with transparency film and some of my scraps, and I've created them to be like a writing area. You could write side words on something like that, or anyhow. So I know I just flipped through them quickly, but this is what I've been doing lately and have just become completely immersed in them. And definitely they can be more decorated than the way that I've done it. But I kind of like the simplicity too. Just, to put a tag in a book, it gives you a little bit of a writing space, and I think they look really cool. I think I love them. Anyhow, so I'm going to try to make this quick because I notice my videos are kind of long and probably sort of boring. Well, my last one, I'm sure, it was an hour and a half video. I'm pretty sure it was not super exciting. Anyhow, so these are all scraps. Everything I have here is all scrap paper. So the first thing that I've been doing is, this was a napkin that I had collaged onto just a piece of coffee stained scrap paper. And so it was in my scrap bin. So I thought, well, I'm going to use one of these because it's a really pretty napkin. So and it's already on the cardstock. So I just kind of tear it, to however long I think I might want it to be. And then what I've been using is this that I found at a secondhand store. It's transparency film, like for projectors. I don't know about you, but I remember being in school quite young. They used to use projectors all the time. Anyway, I found that huge box at the thrift store. So what I'm doing is then I'm going to glue this to here. Like I do end up sewing them because although the glue that I'm using does hold it onto the plastic, I don't trust it to hold it for a long time. So I have been sewing them. And I would suggest, if you have a sewing machine, to sew them because I think the extra texture looks kind of neat too. But anyway, so this part's going to be kind of hard to see. But all I'm doing is I'm just kind of, actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue it on. And then I'll have an idea of how large to cut the tag. This is the glue I've been using for this transparency paper. It seems to work. Eileen's might work as well, and I'm sure Fabri-Tac or E6000 or whatever other glues you have will work. We're sticking to plastic, so you want to make sure you're using a glue that will stick to the plastic. And the reason I'm doing this is so that when I get it to my sewing machine, it's not like it's stuck and it won't be moving around all over the place. So what I've been doing is I've just been doing like a really thin line, like following the edge of the scrap, just going around all the edge like this. and it does dry clear. And I don't even do the middle because I'm just doing it to hold it to the plastic. But if you'll notice, like if you look at one of these, you can't actually see any of the glue through, like it's dried really nicely. So, and I think that's why I like this, and it doesn't glob all over the place. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, can you, you probably can't see this film, but trust me, it's there. And I'm just going to try to catch it on the corner and along the straight line. This can all be trimmed up after. But the closer I can get it to the edge, the less trimming that I'll have to do when it's done. So then I'll just get that on there and wipe this stuff off my mat. And then what I'll do is I'll kind of just make sure it's kind of stuck. It does take a second to dry, but not long. It's quicker than Eileen's for sure. But it still does take a second. So what I want to do is decide how wide do I want this tag. So I'm going to say probably about 3 inches. So I'm just going to line up the edge there, and I'm just going to cut it. Now you might not be able to see that film, but it is there. So I'm just going to cut it at 3 inches. And we'll put that one aside. So now I'm left with this piece. And then how tall do I want it? Probably about, let's go 6 inches. So just line up the straight edge, line it up. Yeah, I mean, I think you can use your cutter with this too if you have a cutter. I don't know how well, but if your blade is sharp, it should cut just fine. Or use your scissors. I mean, scissors will be fine too. Okay, so that's how I do this one. And then I will, just gonna straighten this edge out. So now if you want at this point, you could decorate this more. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sew around the entire edge of the film. Gonna sew around my scrap piece of paper, and we could call that done. Just like that, just a tag like that. It's got writing area on the back, and then the rest of it is just a simple tag, which is, like I mentioned, I do prefer the simple tags. I'm not gonna decorate this anymore, and you could even decide with this image which way you want it to go. So I will sew around the edge, and then after I've sewn around the edge, I'll show you. I'll just be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I've sewn around the edges of the scrap and around the edges of the entire tag. And so you have a little bit of writing space on the back. And now I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I was thinking that it could be decorated. You know, you could put some trim or some lace along the side, which actually I don't mind that. Maybe not white lace, but you could definitely put a lace, you know, along the edge, or you could definitely decorate it. One of these last ones that I did, I don't know where I put it right now, but I decorated it slightly more than the other ones by just putting a scrap of wallpaper and sewed around a Tracy Fox label, and that looks nice too. So you know, you could, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? If you want to decorate it, I say decorate it. So I've decided that this is going to be the top. So then what I do is I just take this I don't know, this punch, I don't know what it's called, and I'm pretty sure I got it from Amazon. Well, Amazon.ca, I'm sure .com has it as well, but I got it from the Canadian one. So I just pop a little hole in there, and then I will put in, let's see, I think I have one right here. Just like a little piece of muslin. Actually, I would have preferred the more, you know, darker colored one, but It's what I have on hand. So it's what we're going to use. And then I've got my stapler, and I'm just going to staple that right on there. Oh, that's not very straight, and it will bug me. Okay, well, this will be my day where I start not being bugged by stuff. Okay, and so I'm just going to trim this piece here. And voila. Yeah. There. No, not there yet. Just wait. Okay, there. Yeah, I would have preferred the darker muslin, the more natural color, but that's okay. This one will do. But there it is. There's your tag. So I want to quickly just show you without one that was already, this was already glued to the coffee dyed paper. So what I have here is I bought some stamps, and I just did some, playing around. I was just stamping to see how they turned out. So these ended up in my scrap bin. So I think what I'm going to do here is if I just start tearing, actually no, sorry, getting ahead of myself here. The first thing I'm going to do is tear that off. Is I'm going to glue this scrap image piece to my coffee dye paper, and the reason I'm using that is so that we have a writing surface on the back, right? So that it's more like a journaling card. Well, that one I had the sewing, but anyway. So I'm just going to glue that on. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just so that it's already done. So then now I'm going to start tearing both of them together so that they end up like it ends up as one piece. Okay. Tear the bottom. Let's just tear a little bit around this clock. Oops. Yeah, I didn't glue the edges of that, so that's okay. So there. Now we have another piece of scrap, and we're going to take our piece of transparent paper. I better put my lid on this. And then we take our glue, whatever glue you choose to use, and I'm just going to give it just a quick little around the edge, quick little dab around the edge. And then I'm going to put it under my film. Now, just because I'm using, actually I didn't mean to do that. I want this more on the left-hand side. So I think what I'll do is go this way. So I'm just going to plop it on, because then I can trim up the film after, because it's annoying trying to place it perfectly on the straight line. Plus I don't have a straight line on my scrap. So this is what I'll do. And what I was going to say is you can use any kind of plastic. Like another kind of plastic I found was like pieces of old photo albums. Like these papers, like you can just pull this apart, and there you have a piece of plastic. Like although this one's not quite as firm as the projector film, it would work. It would work as a piece of piece of plastic. So you can do all kinds of things with that. Anyhow, that was just wanted to show you that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to I'm just going to trim this to like just underneath the scrap there. So we'll cut that off. And then we'll, let's see, we'll make this one, I don't know, let's go with the 2.5 inch tag. Oh, I haven't trimmed that side. Let's trim this side first. And do I want a straighter edge? Probably. Or, no. Actually, I don't mind the crooked edge. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make this one 2.5 from that edge. That looks pretty straight. Okay, so that is garbage. That one goes there. Okay, so there's our tag. And then I will sew around there and do the same thing. I will put a little thing in there. I have to show you something also. When I was making these, I would like to watch YouTube videos of other crafters. And I was watching one by Eve Spade. I'm going to try to remember to link it. Anyway, she was making these, because I've been working with transparent paper. She was making these, and I couldn't believe the timing of this tutorial that she did. So she was like, cuts a hole with the hole punch, and then puts a piece of transparency in there, glues it in, and then put a little, like, I'll show you this one that I did. It's got like a little butterfly, and it's like it's floating. And I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. So yes, I'm going to even make a note to myself to make sure I link her channel. But anyway, so I stopped in the middle of what I was doing here to make these. This one here, I don't really care for the flower, but you know, it's just, I'm just playing around. And the reason this is folded is so that you can put it in as a page right into your journal. So you do you know, like, this is where you would sew it in. And so you could definitely glue another piece to this and have another page for the other side of your journal. Anyhow, I thought that was brilliant. And I meant to make a comment on her video. I haven't done it yet, but I will go back, and because I just thought it was fantastic. And then, of course, I was trying a whole bunch of stuff. So I made an envelope with the transparency. But this was a little time consuming because I had to collage the sheet first. And then, yeah, anyway, I probably won't make too many of these, but I love the idea. I think it looks great. Anyway, so that's it. That's my tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. It's a fun project, and I really hope you give it a shot. Because I think these are just fantastic. Anyhow, thank you guys. Thank you once again. Talk to you soon. Bye.